Hello people, today I have with us the Espossito Theta. This is the 30-minute missions kit from Premium Bandai. I have built this some time ago, but I haven't gotten around to doing a review on it. Now, it's in its flight form right now. As you can see, it looks very similar to, say, an X-Wing or the R-Wing from Star Fox. Comes with a nice stand here for it. Lots of wings on this thing. Some huge missile launchers, and it actually comes with quite a bit of extras in the set too, so I will show you guys those as we go along. Sorry about the noise, I know that's grating. Try to lift that up there for you. But this is in its flight mode. I wanted to show you guys this first. I'm gonna go ahead and read the little blurb about this one. This one is, the Special Operations model belonging to the Earth Alliance is deployed for special operations, such as aerial and space battles. It's an enhanced version of the Espossito Alpha and Beta, with uniquely large wings used to upgrade its firepower-focused armaments and navigational capabilities. It has excellent maneuverability during aerial operations and can flexibly transition into its flight mode, much like Alpha and Beta. Homing missiles fired from the arm containers accurately strike down elite enemy units and prevent them from entering airspace above defense sectors. The Earth Alliance forces also broadly use fighter units further specialized in aerial combat. The Espossito Theta units of the S873 Squadron, which are marked with special insignias. Obviously, I didn't put on the decals for this one, but we will get to those later on. Let me go ahead and transition it into its normal mode, and I'll show you guys the articulation. Alright, so there is a lot to the articulation on this one. Let's start at the head, which has the ball joint on this one, and then it also has the rocking mechanism that you are normally see on these 30-minute missions kits. You can rotate on that axis, but of course these things are in the way, so you're not going to get too much out of that. Right here in the front, you can move this up and down, hiding that hiding the head plate there. With the forward-facing camera, I'm not exactly sure why you would do that, except for aerodynamics when it's flying. But there you have it. You can do that even when it's on the standby mode. You can rotate this at the axis there. It does have a peg that goes into the chest. Generally, when you pull that out, though, this chest piece comes out too, so be careful with that. These guys all articulate here. So let's start at the top. This one can articulate on the hole inside the shoulder here, but not by much. It's pretty tightly in there, but it can move left and right just a hair. It is meant to be wrapped around that shoulder part there, so there's not much to it, but you can see it can move. The shoulder itself, this flap moves up and down. And then the shoulder armor moves up and down. And then the shoulder moves up and down. Lots of articulation here. Each one of these wings can pivot on one of those holes and also move back and forth. We'll leave that one off for now so I can show you the rest of the arm. At the shoulder, you can rotate this section. And then you have one point of articulation at that elbow. Ball joint on the wrist here, very standard for 30-minute missions and high grades. And then we have the rockets, which can open and deploy. That would benefit with just a little bit of detailing on those things, but definitely a cool one. The inside of the arm does pivot as well, so you can move that out just a hair when you articulate the arm. Moving on from there, the back is actually quite articulated because it does need to transform, so you can move this one all the way back this way and then all the way up this way, like so. That has to do with the transformation to flight mode. And then tuck that all back in, move it this way and that on the ball joint up there, like so. And then there's another ball joint underneath on the waist. So let's get these guys out of the way. Get this whole arm out of the way, actually. We'll pop that off. They dropped something, but we'll get that later. Okay, so then at the waist, these little guys can pivot out, and then each one of these can actually move up, forward, and back. This can pivot on the point of articulation that is plugged into here. You have that little 3mm peg that goes in here. Rotate that forward and backward if you need to. We have the nice drop down on the legs, so you can move that downward like this. And then of course you can rotate this as much as the armor allows. And then of course we have that pegged into the upper leg section. So you do have a ball joint to get that to manipulate how you'd like. 2 points of articulation at the knee. You have a nice set of articulation here, which is where this wing came from, but I'll show you that in a second. So this one can rotate all the way around. Oh, it came off on the other side. This one can articulate all the way around. This one can articulate all the way around. This one can move up and down. I forgot about that one. You can move this one up and down as well. This one can rotate. This one can rotate. And I think there's one more section. Yeah, this one right here can move in and out. Lots to do on this one. So I'll leave that off because I'm a dummy. At the ankle, you have a point of articulation at the ankle that moves back and forth this way. You can see that it's a C connector. That goes into a ball joint at the very foot. And then you have a little wheel on the back because he needs landing gear, I guess. So quite a lot on this one in its standard form. See, I mentioned that one coming out. I don't know if I would cement that. If I paint it, I'm probably going to cement that in because that is a little annoying. But it does stay in there if you don't touch it. Okay, let's get his arm back on, put all this back together. We can do a size comparison. Actually, let me show you what else this comes with. All right, and while Espossito waits, here is some of the stuff that it comes with. Actually, it's all of it, but we have a couple of weaponry pieces. These ones are used as guns in the Espossito Alpha, I believe. We have a couple add-ons for weapons. We have a couple more weapons that are 3mm pin connected. We have a couple what looks like drop tanks. We have some side skirt armor. I'm actually not sure I remember where those go on to. These are also side skirt armor for the normal Espossito. We have the Espossito's regular feet. We have some little guns. These are from option parts 1. I think most of these white ones are. We have some offset 3mm pegs. We have, you can call these magazines, you can call them Chobam armor, you can call them reactive armor. Here is a 2 C-clip connector. We have a faceplate for a normal Espossito. We have 2 ball joint 2 3mm point. We have 2 more hand covers. We have some, it looks like either emissions, you can, like exhaust maybe, maybe sights, something like that with the 3mm port. We have some interesting little scoop guys. These ones usually go on the large wing set. We have some handholds. These ones are 2 pieces actually. They move like so. As you can see, I didn't really clean them up. I don't have any plans for them. It gives you 2 of those. two of these, which normally go on 30-minute missions feats, like the Alto and the Portanova. And then we have this one, which normally functions as the front guard for the armor here. They replaced that with the wing section on the Espossito here, this section here. Along with this one, you get those two fins that present as front skirt armor, but you can use those as side skirt armor, and it covers the front and the back. But because the two fins are being used, you get a regular one as well. You use this as a backpack to install wings, something like that as well. That's a lot. It also comes with this weapon. That one can connect to a 3mm port here, so you can expand it. It has two of these little slots, which you can attach different weapons to, and a 3mm peg and a handle. So quite a bit of options for that one. And here are the special markings just for this one. So you can see they intended there to be 3 units in this squad, and then it does have the squad number there, 8733. But lots of little guys here to put on as you will, or it does give you instructions on how to put them on their way. All right, and just here to show you, his feet are indeed touching the ground. He is on a stand. He is a little bit further away from the wall, but we're going to do a size comparison for this guy, so give me a second here. All right, here he is next to the high-grade Gundam, the GBN base Gundam in 1144, just like he is. You can see he's quite a lot taller than the Gundam is, about a head taller, but these spikes do extend a little bit further, and it's a pretty big guy. Right, and from the same faction, this is the Alto, also from 30-minute missions. These are both in 1144 scale. As you can see, this one is much, much smaller than the Espossito. They are for different purposes, of course, but the Esposito's really long legs really do shine here. All right, our 1100 representative here, being Jinrai from Frame Arms series, just about the same height. I really do like the way the Jinrai looks with 30-minute missions kits. I think the blocky utilitarian look lends itself well to the 30-minute missions, and they are really apt to be compared because they are covered in 3mm ports, just like the 30-minute missions kits are. And close to the same height as well, Architect from the Frame Arms Girl series here, standing next to him. She's also very covered in 30mm ports, as you see here. There are several, even just on the side, some on her leg. She is quite comparable to this guy. Amongst the smallest of my kits, here is the Hexagear Governor. This one is Nero, the Knight type. As you see in 124 scale, he doesn't really compare to the large robot in 1144. But of course, my Master Grade 1100 scale, Alex Gundam does still dwarf this little guy. Compared, the Master Grades are usually just much, much bigger than the smaller 1144 scale kits. All right, so that is the size comparison. I actually think this one's really worth the purchase. It was a P-Bandai kit, so it might not be widely available where you are. It does give you other concepts on how to put these things together. For example, you can use these as a weapon. There is another method where it looks like he's... what did it look like? No, okay, so it has the two transformations that I showed you, and then another way to put these wings on. I think it's on his legs. But realistically, you can do whatever you want with these guys. 3mm ports are everywhere, so you can put wings on his legs. You can put, anywhere you want, really. It's possibilities are limitless with this thing. They really do have a lot of customizability in mind with these 3mm ports and pegs everywhere. Espossito is one of my favorite kits from the 30-minute mission series. I happen to like it more than I like the Alto and the Portanova, the Ciel Nova. He's a really cool one. Of course, my favorites are going to be the eggs, and as well as the eggs, the Spinadio and Spinadias. Those are always going to be my favorite, but this one is my favorite Earth type. The Byron, that one's going to be the egg. I'm pretty sure that's Byron. They could say that it's not, but you know, it is. To me anyway. This one being the Espossito is my favorite earth type. So obviously I wanted to get it, but it was a premium Bandai kit, and it is kind of inaccessible in terms of where you get it from and how expensive it is. If you don't live in the States, it can be hard to get. Most of the premium Bandai countries, I don't know, it's weird how it works. Either case though, it's a lovely kit. I highly recommend if you can get it. It is $40, I believe. Plus, because it's on premium Bandai, you have to pay a $10 shipping fee. If you get it with other things, you know, that alleviates that sum. But still, at the same time, it's a lot of money. So with the add-ons that you get, there's 2 add-on parts. That you get the option set 1, and you get the wings set for the large aircraft, and I think those missile launchers, I don't remember what those came from. If I have another set, I don't remember it, so those might be unique to this one, but I don't think that's the case. So someone will correct me in the comments. I'm sure that is always something that I can count on my audience for. So tell me where I can get another set of those, because I really do like them. Any case though, highly recommend this one. Definitely worth getting if you're into the 30-minute missions kits. Lots of spare parts to play with if you wanted to add them onto this, or take some of these ridiculous wings off of it and put on some other armor sets. But that is going to be it for this review, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it when you do. Please leave a comment if you remember what set those came in, if they did, or if this is a unique set to this one. I don't think it is, but either case, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'd love to get another set of them without having to buy another one of these. Not that I don't like him. He's great, but I don't want to pay another $50 for it. But that is it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.